everyone. I just want to start by saying that my name is DC, and I'll be helping out with the mediation today. So to start off, I'm going to go over with some ground rules and just what mediation is. But first, I was thinking that we could all introduce ourselves.
Yeah, I'm Jane.
Okay.
I'm Kate.
Okay. And is it alright if we refer to each other on a first name basis?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Cool. Okay, great. So mediation is a structured process in which people attempt to resolve their differences with the assistance of a neutral third party, which I'll be today. And so as a mediator, I'm here to assist you in communicating with one another in order to achieve a successful resolution to your dispute. And I'll just like to commend both of you for coming in today, because I know it can be difficult at times. So I just want to go over some of the ground rules as well. So some important ground rules is one is to not interrupt each other. So at the beginning, we're going to have uninterrupted period to speak. So each one of you will have that opportunity. And also no name calling is allowed. So just trying to keep things as civil as possible. Yeah, and then let's see if I'm missing it now. Yeah, sorry. If the ground rules are messed up upon during the session, I can reiterate them for everybody. And if anybody's disrupting each other, then I'll try and step in and remind each other that we're trying to take turns. Ken, are there any other ground rules that you would like to add?
Nope, I'm okay.
Okay, great. And then, so it also is also possible that we might caucus during this session. What a caucus is basically where it'll be me with one of you, where we're going to have like individual time to like talk about the issue. So this might come up if maybe like communication is breaking down, or we just all feel like as a group that we need a caucus and have like normal conversations. And if that isn't going to be the case, then I'll let everybody know and we can go from there. And another thing is everything discussed today is private and it's not going to leave this room, except for if there is some felony level criminal activity that's been talked about, or child abuse, any threats or acts of violence, anything like that, I'll be required to record, but beyond that, everything stays in the room. During this session, I'm also going to take notes, and you all have notebooks as well, so like feel free to take notes. The only reason why I'm keeping notes is to be able to understand the dispute, and I'd like you both know that like after this mediation, these notes will be destroyed, so there won't be like any lasting notes afterwards. Before we begin, is there any time restrictions that we know about?
No.
Okay, great. So, would either one of you like to start?
Sorry. So, Jane and I, we were roommates last year, our first year, and then Jane's idea was that we should move out of the residence hall because we have a really great time, like living in an apartment off campus. And I wasn't really even into the idea. I was like, you know what, we're friends, like it'll be fine. Like I was just like, it's not even gonna matter what everyone says about like friends can't live together. But obviously I was wrong because we moved in together. Then Jane gets this boyfriend, and they always hang out, but they always like hang out at his place, and she's always like, working all the time, and she doesn't pay her bills, and I'm always stuck with like paying the bills left over, and then I'm also stuck with like they come over when I'm not there, and then they make a mess, and then I'm like in charge of cleaning up everything, and she doesn't even know how to like empty the dishwasher. And we used to like do all these really cool things together, but now all she does is like hang out with her boyfriend and not pay the bills. And like I'm responsible for that because the bills are in my name, you know?
So what it sounds like to me is that friendship is really important to you. You talked a lot about how you're friends, and how responsibility is also really big, and sharing tasks, how you believe that like everybody should be responsible for their task sharing, and that communication, that you want to make sure that like everybody's communicating and taking ideas.
Yeah. Some people just need to learn how to like grow up, learn how to pay bills.
So yeah, kind of what we're talking about before, responsibility. Okay.
Well, it's really cool that you mentioned growing up and paying bills because I don't think Kate's been acting good growing up at all. She's been really passive aggressive with the chores and just like living in the house. 2 weeks ago, she left a note on the door saying like responsibility means pay your bills on time and like big letters on the front door, and that's really considerate. Like you shouldn't be passive aggressive with those
She
things.
acts like she can't see like the
Um,
messes that
this
she
is
makes
my
in
time to
Sorry,
speak.
sorry.
Oh my god!
Let's calm down for 1 second. And so there will be time later on to be able to reiterate how you're feeling about things, but this is uninterrupted time. So if we could both give Daniel our respect.
Cool. Thanks. And you like just ever like a couple of weeks ago, like she stopped picking up garbage and refused to buy like church supplies. And I think that if she has a problem, she should come and say it to my face instead of acting all passive aggressive. She also has some weird problem with Dave, and she has always rude. He comes over and talks negatively about him on the phone, which is really disrespectful. I don't really understand why. But I think the thing that makes me the most angry is that last weekend I came home from Dave's place and there was a stranger in my bed. And when I asked Kate about that, she told me that he was visiting from Denver and he drank too much and needed a place to sleep. And apparently she thought it was fine because I wouldn't be in my bed or whatever. Which, you know, I don't like that because that feels like she's not respecting my property. And I think that's dumb. So I think if we're gonna throw out there, like if we can't get along, like I'm gonna have to break the lease and leave because it's really distracting for me.
Okay.
Perfect. I'll just move out and
I'm very happy with that.
So, just hold on once. So it sounds like what you were talking about. It's really important to you about like having your personal space, having a space kind of where you can go home, like you know this is your place. Another one is it sounds like open communication is very important to you, and like direct communication. And it seems like these are quite important things to you. And if some of these things aren't met, then you might have to reload yourself like next semester for regular use.
yeah.
So a couple of the things that I kind of heard from both of yours is one is that you all were like talking a lot about responsibility, and I was wondering if you could maybe like, talk a little more about this, about how both of your opinions are about like, responsibility and how
Jane acts like she can't see when she's in the house with her boyfriend. They just dirty up everything. So I was like, well, if you can't see like your mess, why can't I just leave this message bolded? So obviously you should be able to see it. Like clean up your stuff, pay your bills on time.
And I don't know how that's responsibility. Like, if responsibility is taking care of one's actions or whatever, like, how is it appropriate for her to leave these notes and stop doing things? Like, I don't find that responsible.
How is it not responsible? Because I'm trying to take
Why
care
don't
of
you
it.
communicate with me directly?
That is communication. You're never there. How am I supposed to communicate with you when you're not even there?
Aggressive notes on my door.
So how about we take a step back and let's actually look at responsibility. So in both of your opinions, kind of what is the definition of responsibility?
Paying your bills on time, cleaning up after yourself.
Respecting others.
Okay.
Situation.
So one more time. So we had paying bills on time.
Yes.
Respecting each other. How about what's another way of saying that without using like the word respect within respecting each other?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what's another way of saying respecting each other?
Maybe communication.
Okay. Do you agree with that as well? That kind of communication plays a part in respect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, with the more tangible things of paying bills on time, making sure that things are cleaned up, and with you like communication being a really big part of the responsibility as well, how can these kind of brought together?
I don't know. I feel like if there's something that I'm not doing properly, she should tell me, either in person, or if she feels like I'm not told enough. And I have good reasons for that, and you always assume that you know everything in my life, but whatever, she can text me or call me.
Do you have anything that you can add to that, or?
Yeah, I just appreciate. I just don't know how to like get in contact with her when she's always out with her boyfriend.
I'm not always out with Dave.
She's always out with Dave.
I'm not always out with
So
Dave.
hold on.
I'm not.
Okay.
I work 20 hours a week and doing 18 credits. I'm also studying a lot and working a lot. I'm not always out with Dave.
So remember, let's go back to some of the ground rules that we're each trying to respect each other, and part of that respect is when one individual speaking, the individual listen.
just don't know how to like communicate with her anymore because it seems like if she's in the house or in our apartment, then I'm not there. So I'm like, how do I contact you? And, like if I text you, she acts like she doesn't get it for like 10 minutes or like 3 days sometimes. Like it ranges all over the place. And I'm like, I don't know how to get in contact with you when something is like, hey, you need to pay this bill, and then the bill is late, and then it's on my name, and I don't want to have late fees associated with me. It's not in your name, so it's like not even a problem. Like, oh, I can forget about it. I can have my boyfriend on time.
And another thing that I heard from both of you in the beginning and that you keep kind of reiterating as well is communication. So what does communication kind of look like with you?
I like to communicate through notes if you're a child. I feel like that's respectful. If you're at home, text me or call me. Notes at the door. Or you can even text me something we need to talk in person. We can set a time to do that, but I don't appreciate you being passive aggressive.
I just feel like she's frustrated when I'm like, hey, you need to do this, or hey, this is happening, I need this paid. She just gets frustrated, so then I'm like, well, I don't want to deal with your frustration and texting back and forth frustration. Like, I'm just going to leave this note, pay it at the day it's supposed to be paid, and that's it.
So how do you think you can resolve kind of this different style of communication?
I mean, I think we value different things. I think we can work together and snap out on this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that down as a possible solution because like later on we're gonna be talking about solutions, and when we're talking about solutions, any solutions are acceptable, even like solutions all the way out there, like really kind of solutions to anything. But right before we get maybe more to solutions, the one thing I kind of wanted to talk about was that you all talked quite a bit about was the sharing of tasks and what that looks like within the living space.
For me, it's like clean up after yourself, empty the dishwasher. Like, it's pretty easy. You have home training, you know how to do that.
I think for me, it's like buy certain supplies, stuff that you like to take the garbage. I do that a lot. Also, you need to talk about my home training. So just
So now that we've kind of talked about those different things, now let's talk a little more about solutions. So one of the solutions that we were talking about earlier was maybe about finding new ways to live. What are like other solutions? What are some other solutions that we can throw out there?
Clean up after yourself, pay the bills on time.
buy our supplies, stop attacking snack about Dave. I just heard you over the phone a week ago talking bad about Dave. Like, you don't need to do that. I don't know why you hate him so much. You hate him. Why?
I don't hate him.
Why?
I don't hate him.
Then why are you talking to me about him?
You just always with him. We used to like always hang out, and then all of a sudden Dave comes into the picture, and it's like, boom, Kate, move to the side, clean up after me. I'm not your maid. I'm not your maid. I was your friend. And now it's all about Dave.
And so you're jealous of something.
I'm not jealous at all.
Okay. So you don't mind us spending my time with him, or you do?
I don't care what you do with your time. Okay. You just need to pay the bills on time and clean up after yourself.
So has quite a bit of the relationship changed since Dave came into the picture, or?
Yeah, she's been mean to him and all mean to me because of it. And she's passive aggressive.
She ignores me. She acts like I don't exist. Like, we used to hang out all the time. We used to go grocery shopping. We used to cook together. And then Dave came in the picture, and she does all these other things at the time now.
since my first boyfriend, I want to make sure he's really cool. And I don't know how to act on that. Just for you. I'm sorry if I've been monopolizing my time with him.
So it seems like, I mean, Dave plays a really important role in your life. And it seems like, I mean, your friendship as well plays a really important part in both of your lives. So then, how about some solutions around Dave?
I'm not going to break up with Dave. I can cut back anytime.
I just don't want her to feel obligated, like, oh,
no, I don't
hang
feel
out with
obligated.
Kate,
I don't feel like you're like a chore. I do miss spending time with you. I just also didn't know how to do both. Spend time with Dave, but now that I know that like you miss me, like I miss you too, and we could do things that we used to do together if you're still open. But it's an obligation that I don't feel like a chore.
So what are some ways that you can spend more time together?
Grocery shopping was good. Yeah.
What else? Do you think that's about it? Or
We used to watch the Kardashians together.
okay.
I usually like that show. I was watching it the other day.
You miss so much. So. You missed a good too.
Okay, so catching up on Kardashians together. Cool, awesome.
I don't know if this became weird, but maybe Dave and I hang out a lot. He was really cool to hang out with us. I don't know if it's part of the solution. We hang out both of you.
I think that would be weird. Dave and I used to date. So.
Dave and you used to date?
You know this.
I do know this. I just sometimes blocks up my memory. Because it's painful for me to remember.
Painful for me. So that's why I don't like really hanging out around him. Like I just like hanging out, just us being friends. And like later on, he can come around.
That's right. That's right.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like maybe like for now just keeping it the two of you, and then maybe slowly like bringing Dave more and more into the picture. Okay, so I'd like to just really quickly bring you back to one of the solutions that we talked about at the very beginning, which was actually you want to move out. Even that's something that you still want to do, or
no, I think we should be moving out with sometime with you.
Okay. So we have some really good groundwork now on maybe how the two of you can spend more time together, how we can kind of like bring Dave into the picture. So how about we talk a little more now about the responsibilities within the shared living space, like paying the bills, like training the task of cleaning the space. So how did that look?
Yeah, well, you guys are very forgetful. So maybe if we have a tablet for those and chores, we can do that.
I think that would be better because like this late fee, I can't like pay that. I cannot.
And I can pay you back for my half in the late fee too. It's only fair, I think. Yeah, just please. I know I'm not, but I'm very forgetful. So like how casual writers would have time. I'll do that.
I think that would be good to have a calendar for both of us. And like just know like, hey, this night we do this. Or like this is the night that I'll be in the apartment. Or having friends over for the weekend.
Okay. So even like having social things on the calendar as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you were saying earlier that you would also like to pay back the late fees and also your half of the bills. Is paying back the late fees something that's possible for you right now, or?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, the money would run out, or paying the half of my would run out anyway. If you do maybe 2 weeks to pay, like those get paid this Friday. And right now we haven't got $10 in the savings account. I have nothing.
saving money?
I think we can do that.
Yeah, it's been financially hard. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we talked a lot about to be spending more time together, also responsibilities. So in some ways, communication falls into this, but do you also want to specifically talk about communication as well? How things can be communicated within the friendship, just in case issues do come up again?
I mean, I was just like, if you want me to text you, I would want a response back, not just like sitting for days and days and days. And like, I don't like I'm seeing you with your phone all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why it's not being answered. So that's why I just do the sticky notes. And like at least I know it's there. I know if you go into your room, you're going to see it.
The sticky notes bother me. But I guess not answer text bothers you, so I can answer it in an hour or two. Maybe class.
I mean, like,
maybe like
at the end of the day,
Okay,
it will
cool.
work.
Yeah.
And for you, maybe just stop using sticky notes. And maybe so when like texting, like let's say like another issue comes up and it's just not being solved via texting, do you think you would like text each other to set up a time to meet up, or how would you like to communicate in that way?
Put it on the calendar. Like after the Kardashian.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So some of the things that we talked about, some of the solutions that we came up with, is one that if we do go grocery shopping together, so kind of like spend a little more time. You're gonna watch the Kardashians together and catch up on it. It sounds like almost a week behind at this point. And then slowly bringing Dave kind of into the fold. How about communication just around that really quickly? Just you all want to talk about like, maybe when Dave should start to come back into the picture? Is it just gonna be one of those fluid when it feels right it's gonna happen, or how would you like to see that?
I think it'll take some time, and maybe doing things outside of the apartment first, not just bringing him into our space. Like,
Dave's birthday. Like that.
Okay, so yeah, so go grocery shopping together, catch up on watching Kardashians, and then slowly bring Dave in the picture. When you guys kind of start coming in, first thinking outside the apartment, and Dave can kind of come into the apartment potentially in the future.
Yeah.
And then also, so maybe setting up a calendar for bills and chores, but then also adding maybe when social things are going to be coming up, like when friends are going to be coming over, also putting on that calendar if there are like potential issues that you're having, like we're going to sit down and meet up during this time.
Sorry, and also if friends come over, can you let me know if I sleep in my bed? My bed's my sanctuary kind of. And it's where it makes me sort of sleep in it. And I mean, I understand that piece of him being kicked out, but there was no morning when I was not feeling safe for that situation. So.
Okay. And would a text be enough for that? Or?
Oh, yeah, the text would be cool, that's cool.
Okay. Yeah, so we have the calendar with the bills and chores, the social aspects. If you're going to like just kind of sit down and catch up on things. You're also going to pay back within 2 weeks the late fees and also the half of the bills. Yeah, and then texting and then response to those texts will be sometime throughout the day. It doesn't have to be like within an hour, but just sometime within that day. And that if someone is going to come over, to make sure to like send text just beforehand. And then the one other thing too is no more using of post-it notes or just like kind of small papers around your apartment. Those all sound pretty reasonable as outcomes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
is there kind of anything else that you would like to address during this mediation?
That's good.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of fill out these outcomes kind of on a contract sheet, and we'll get both of you to sign them. And then if anything does arise at the end, if you feel like